What's up, y'all? Episode 156 of Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday night. I'm your host, Graham Powell, on this screen, aka Cheeseburger, Bradley Brown on the other, aka himself, I assume. Say what's up, Brad.
What's up? I am not a cheeseburger.
Um, Not today, you're not. Anyway, before we get started, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the Submit Results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series. And you can find us, Shoe Booty Sports, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a like, and follow while you're there. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. We got the World Series going on at the moment. Looks like the Yankees have finally found some life since the early part of game one. It's good to, I don't know, I'm pulling for the Dodgers, but it's good to see things are getting interesting at least because it's really kind of
Yeah.
been boring, at least while the Yankees have been at the plate. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's start off with some SEC football, in particular, our Arkansas Razorback getting it done in Starkville in relatively impressive fashion. Put up what, 58 points?
58, yeah.
Yeah, 58, 23 or something for 28, something like that win. Either way, Hogs win big over Mississippi State. Grew to 5-3 overall, 3-2 in SEC play. Mississippi State still just has that one win on the season. Taylen Green named the SEC Offensive Player of the Week, threw 5 touchdown passes and ran for another. Pittman said something like it looks like he's gotten some confidence after that. I mean, how could you not? Yeah, I would imagine he's got to be feeling pretty good after that. I saw I saw the game in chunks. It was bits and pieces. I had a big race Saturday morning in Benton, the Arkansas 20K, the 41st annual Arkansas 20K, by the way, which they found every hill in Benton, Arkansas to put on that route, and it was very tough and but also fun. But anyway, by the time I got done with that, went over to my friend's house, showered, and then I went and ate a lot of Mexican food after. They had the game on the TV there, like right above me, so I did get to see a good chunk of it. It was the second quarter. Watched all the way to the end of the first half there, but liked what I saw from Arkansas. How could you not? Your takeaways from it, just that game in particular, and Taylen Green's play.
Yeah, I liked what I seen from the Hogs. We got off to a strong start. Was it? I think their second play on their first drive, we forced a fumble, sacked the quarterback, forced a fumble. Which I think Landon Jackson both forced it and recovered. And then go down and score. I don't know. I was surprised, a little surprised to see how easily Mississippi State moved the ball on us. Because they could have been what, at least 14 to 17 points better than what they finished at, right? There's some questionable close calls there that were under review. Um, which I'm not sure why they're waiting until everybody's lined up, uh, ready to play, and then saying that they're going to go back and review it instead of just automatically reviewing it since it was so close. I mean, they were potentially scoring plays, but whatever.
Probably coming from
SEC does some,
upstairs.
yeah, could have saved some time. Um, but yeah, Green played great, played smart, except for that run where he was scrambling and he was, not tucking the ball away and he had it slapped loose, but luckily he recovered. Made some very nice throws. I really liked his third touchdown where he pretty much put it in between three guys and the guy laid out for it and caught it in the end zone. That was a really great throw. Liked what I seen that we finally got Haas back in the game plan. He had a pretty big day. Had a
Hang
couple of
on.
big.
Hawes. Is it Hawes or Has? I've heard it like 20 different ways.
Thought it was Has.
And by the way, by 20, I mean I've heard it two different ways. Has and Has. So
Yeah.
the announcers say Has. I thought it was Haas early. It doesn't matter. They say Tesla, and then last year and this year
Tesla.
it's Tesla. So,
Yeah.
which I kind of like Tesla better, just because it's
Yeah.
more fun to say. But anyway, continue.
I was gonna say I like the fact that we got him involved. He was I think he was named something of the week, right? For the SEC.
He's a ball player. If he's healthy, he needs to get involved. He has to
Yes.
be involved. Can't just be the Andrew
Yeah.
Armstrong show. Although they've been pretty good with that being the case in the receiving game. The only thing he's got like 700 something receiving yards. I mean, he's got some video game numbers receiving yards, but just one touchdown. I'd like to see that number higher. But then again, I mean, the Hogs are 5-3. I'm not going to complain too much, right?
Yeah. Can't complain that much. I really liked the way Russell ran the ball. Him and Dominion, they both ran it pretty good. So they stepped up for what Jenkins. He's been out for the last couple of weeks, or this week. He got injured last week. So which hopefully he'll be back.
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson.
You
Still,
keep wanting to
I keep confusing him.
I
The
think you
names,
keep
man.
with like Quinshawn Junkins or something.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty terrible with names.
It's okay. There's some Q's in the first name and Juz, and I get it. And they're both good running backs. So
Yes.
it makes sense. Understand.
Yeah, hopefully we get him back, for Ole Miss. Haven't heard anything for sure on him for this weekend. Yeah, I'm ready to see what we're going to be like against Ole Miss.
Yeah, Russell's the freshman, right? The big freshman guy, like 230
Yeah, I think he's a red shirt. I think he's a red shirt freshman.
The big,
Big
strong,
dude.
fast running back. That's
250 and that
Is
quick.
that what he is? Yeah. I was saying 230, 240, but it is like 250. Yeah, that's gonna hurt like in the second half, having to tackle that dude. Uh had you told me I don't know, the Hogs are 5-3. I'm happy with that. They're one game away from or one win away from being bowl eligible. But the 3-2 in SEC play is what I'm happy with. That's what makes me
Yes.
proud to see from them the level of progress. Scoring 58 points in an SEC game, even though it's against Mississippi State.
Got over 600 yards of offense. Man.
It's the Bobby Petrino effect and just the upgrade in talent as well. It's not all Petrino. You got to have horses to, get things going. And yeah, the Razorbacks, we knew that right away. They're clearly better than what they were last year. You just didn't know how much better. To be one win away from being bowl eligible, that's a success in my book. I had them with 4 wins.
4 wins, yeah. Me too.
All right, so rest of the way, where do you see the Hogs? You see them 6 or 7 wins is really how I see it, because it's still a pretty tough schedule down the stretch. We'll get to Ole Miss. We'll pick that in a sec, but we'll do that next. But first, how many wins?
I can see them with 7 wins.
Regular season, we're talking about, not
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were betting 6 or 7, you would say 7.
Yes.
Wow, 7-5. I mean, if you go to the bowl game and win it to be 8-5, I mean that would be quite the turnaround considering the team you had a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, granted, we lost a lot of close 1 possession games last year, but we still lost. Yeah, I don't think. Well, we've had what A&M was our last close loss, right?
Yeah, I would say they were a bad football team last year. They just were. The line was soft. is the softest offensive line at the major college football level I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Too many penalties. Couldn't protect KJ Jefferson to save their lives. I felt awful for KJ. We'll talk about him a little bit too in this episode, but yeah, it was last year was just a bad team. This is a clear upgrade from last year, and it shows on the scoreboard and in the record books. I'm just glad to see that. All right, so Arkansas playing host to Ole Miss, I believe number 19 Ole Miss on Saturday. It's a
Yep.
morning game, right?
Early game, yeah. 11 o'clock Central. So not a fan of the kickoff time. Of course, I won't be going to the game, so what do I care?
Well,
Um,
I will actually be. I'm pacing the City of College's half marathon Saturday morning. I think it's an 8 a.m. race, and I'm the 2:20 pace group. So I'm basically going to have to finish and then essentially take a group. I think we do that before the race, like a group photo and all that, like the pace team. But I'll basically have to hop in the car, get home, jump in the shower, get out, and turn the TV on, and go from there. So, but I do not want to miss that game. Hopefully, it's still very much a game by the time I'm able to sit down and watch it. All right, score prediction. Who you got? What's the score?
I'm not sure about the score yet.
You're gonna have to pick
Let's
one
say,
to do on the show.
well, I'm just saying if it's going to be a high scoring affair, low scoring affair. I think there's some storms in the forecast for Saturday. I'm not sure if they're for the morning or the afternoon, but if it rains its butt off during the game, I don't know. I kind of like the Hogs to win that, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it to rain and affect the game and say the Hogs win 24-17.
Wow. Okay. Big upset.
Or
But
no,
Arkansas
yeah,
always plays Ole
24-17.
Miss close. It's one of those long time rivalry games that it just always ends up that way. It's all I mean, the year 2 years ago when Ole Miss was really good, Arkansas stomped them. Really should have beaten them on the scoreboard way worse than they did. That was when Pittman took the foot off the gas, like
Yep.
early in the third quarter, or about the midway point of the third quarter. Uh, a weather forecast for Saturday on a Tuesday is pointless to me. Uh,
On a Friday, it's pointless.
yeah. Well, a butterfly can fart in the air between now and then and just change the entire weather pattern. So it's meaningless. I will say, or so I'm not going to go by off that. I kind of I wouldn't be shocked if it happened, but I don't think it'll happen. Ole Miss played LSU a heck of a lot more competitively than Arkansas did. Uh, Ole Miss is a pretty good team. Borderline really good, but just a pretty good team. I'm going to say Ole Miss, and I'm going to say Lane will put up some points. I will say I'm going back and forth between 35 and 31. I'm going to go 31-21 Ole Miss. Hope I'm wrong, but that's what I'll roll with there. Okay, let's recap some other college football games from Saturday. I didn't watch a lot of college football. I haven't watched a lot of college football the last few weeks. My race schedule has been
Hey, you
nuts.
haven't, yeah.
But it's been a fun year for me in that regard. It will definitely be my most active year as far as running goes. I will not duplicate this. I don't have the time, energy, or effort for it after this year, but I got a couple more months in me. But I did see some scores. The big one that stood out, obviously, Texas edging Vanderbilt, 5-25. What a 3 point game or 2 point game.
Uh, was it a 2 point game? Yeah, it was a 3 point game. But yeah, I don't know. Texas kind of let Vandy back in the game. But yeah, for a split second there, I thought Vandy had a chance to pull off the upset, but really didn't think it was going to happen though.
Well, everybody in America was pulling for Vandy except for
Well,
Texas.
of course, of
Yeah,
course.
and Austin, that particular part of Texas, and some others, but The state of Texas isn't all about Texas, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was. I wasn't. I mean, that would have been huge. That would have been a huge upset. Um, what else? What other scores around the league? I saw Oregon won again. Of course, the big one this week is Ohio State, Penn State. I think that's a 2-3 matchup or 3-4.
Yeah.
Big game there in the Big Ten that now has like 20 teams. So that's one thing about the SEC. They don't have to change the name of their conference because it's like, well, let's just say big and then insert whatever number of teams we have in the conference.
Yeah.
But yeah, Texas edging Vanderbilt. I haven't seen the top 25, but I assume Vanderbilt hasn't moved, or if anything, has moved up or should have.
They're not ranked, so they moved out of the top 25.
That's BS. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
makes no
mean they are a 3-loss team, so about midway through, a little bit more midway through the season. So
some pretty close losses though, and I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't remember who they lost to, but yeah, you barely got beat by the number 5 team in the country, and you
uh, they have a bad loss.
yeah,
Vanderbilt does.
who was it?
Oh, hold on, I'm looking it up.
So you can't tease us like that.
I just know they had it. Uh,
I think so. I think you're right. I just can't recall who it was. Like South Carolina or something, maybe.
Georgia, Georgia State.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad loss. I don't know anything about Georgia State, but that is a bad loss. But so okay, makes sense. But they're playing pretty good football right now, to say the least. But okay, I get it then. All right. Well, I had mentioned KJ Jefferson, and I just wanted to check in on how UCF was doing. And like you, of course, Arkansas ties there. KJ Jefferson transferred there after breaking every meaningful record as the quarterback at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Transfers there his senior year with Gus Malzahn, who is, of course, from Arkansas, has plenty of Arkansas ties, and things aren't going well. They started off 3-0. KJ looked really good in the process. Since they've lost 5 in a row, 5 games in a row. KJ hasn't played in the last 3 games. I heard something about him getting benched. I don't know if it's that or he got hurt. I haven't paid too close attention to it.
He got benched.
Okay.
Yeah, he's benched. He's riding pine.
But have you seen the numbers of the quarterbacks that have replaced him?
No.
They are very unimpressive. I mean, it's like 1 touchdown, 5 picks or something to the guy that's currently playing quarterback. I don't know that that's exact, but it's in that ballpark. And I
Pretty
just don't,
bad.
yeah. But I don't know that you can go back to KJ after that. Not looking good there for Gus and UCF or KJ. Not certainly not the way you want to end your career. Collegiate
I'm
career.
sure they're paying him enough to sit back and like it. So
Yeah, I guess, but that's you got some pride about you, and
but definitely not helping his NFL stock. I mean, if it was even on anyone's radar to begin with. But
yeah, the position of quarterback has changed in his favor. They're more mobile now. The game has changed to that extent, and guys are going in there and having success. Not Anthony Richardson, of course. We didn't see much of him in college either. We'll talk about that too. But Jaden Daniels and company, Caleb Williams. Of course, KJ can't pass like those guys can. I'm just saying, like the league is more open to a mobile quarterback, a big, strong guy that can move around and break tackles. KJ would be more like a Ben Roethlisberger. Again, not Ben Roethlisberger. Not saying he's that good, but he'd be more like that than a Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. But I mean, but he does move a lot better than Ben Roethlisberger. I will say that. Point is, the league's more open to that now, but not looking good after this after these last 5 games, in which we haven't even seen him in the last 3. But you look at the quarterback numbers on that roster, and I don't see how you don't go back to KJ. I mean, there's got to be something else there than just what you're seeing on the field, because who Gus has replaced him with, it's only gotten worse. It's
Yeah.
been bad.
Yeah, you've lost 5 in a row. Go back to the guy who at least got you the 3 wins.
And at least has a positive touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah.
Go with that. All right, just wanted to touch up on that a little bit. Okay, let's jump to the NFL now. The big one, there was a lot going on. The big one, I watched the Redskins. Wow, the Commanders. Yeah, don't cancel us, or if you do, whatever. But the Commanders, Hail Mary, against the Bears, and wow, I was watching that live, and yeah, I mean, jaw dropped when that happened. Could
Oh,
not believe
mine
that.
did too. Because I was playing against Jaden Daniels in fantasy. And that last Hail Mary play scored him 11 points. I lost by 8.
Like that one
Very upset.
play scored 11.
I think it was 10 points in my league because you get the yardage and the touchdown.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I guess it would be that. That was a huge play. Of course, it's a bad look when the Bears safety or corner or whatever he was just kind of mouthing or taunting the fans as the play was happening and even developing.
Yeah.
It didn't impact the play, but it's still a bad look. I mean, it was just a miracle play that happened. All you can say is, hey, because then you can say, okay, we'll cover the guy behind him, but then that leaves somebody else open to make the jump and make the catch. It's just a miracle play that happened. And Caleb Williams' numbers were awful leading up to that, but he turned it on like through the first 3 quarters, but he really turned it on the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Uh, the Bears have been a team that it's hard to root against. It's like, hey, you finally got a quarterback or a guy that we all think is going to be a quarterback, a really good one in this league.
Yeah,
And
and they've already surpassed my expectations. I thought, they're already at 4 wins. I thought that was going to be their win total for the whole season.
they would have been
Honestly.
5-2, had that play not been made. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't beat that as far as a start with a rookie quarterback. But the other rookie quarterback,
Apparently you can't. It looks for Commanders.
yeah. But I mean, Jaden Daniels with busted up ribs and all, making the heave down the field and getting it done. So that was fun to watch for somebody that doesn't have a dog in the fight. Me, I mean,
Yeah.
I was shocked at the ending. Pretty fun stuff there. Maybe the most fun story to me was the Browns and Jameis Winston. Jameis came in.
Loved
I
it.
could
Yeah.
watch Jameis Winston pregame, during, in the middle of the game, post game interviews all day. He was locked in before that game. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was.
as locked in as can be, and balled out. He described his last starting season with Tampa. He said, "I balled out, and this is after throwing 5,000 something yards and 30 touchdowns with 30 interceptions."
Yeah.
No, he legit balled out Sunday. Browns get a big win over division rival Baltimore. I mean, the Browns were the most down team, nothing to play for in the league. And then Jameis comes in and just gives them the biggest shot in the arm you could possibly get. And I mean, David Njoku worked out, Cedric Tillman worked out. I picked up both of those guys in fantasy before Sunday, and
Wow.
man, did that pay off. I started Njoku, and that got me
I've
some,
had Njoku.
but Cedric Tillman had 29 on my bench. But I thought I made no moves. I put in no waiver wire moves today because they all hit. They all hit last week, and there's just not enough an open spot for me to do. Like it was great. They were all on my bench, but I still got the win, so no big deal.
I have to hit the waiver wire. Like, it's a must. My defense in both leagues is on bye, so it's the Steelers. So
Yeah, I'm going to be playing without a running back. Without a running back, I had Najee Harris and Jordan Mason. Of course, Jordan Mason got hurt. But Najee and Jordan Mason are on a bye. The only other running back I have is Travis Etienne. So I'm just hoping he can come in and play. And there's all those. The only person I can think about dropping really is Romeo Dobbs because I'm not dropping Lad McConkey after the game he had.
yeah,
So it looks like I'm probably going to be playing with that. And there's no running back out there that's good enough to be dropping a guy that you think is going to be a double-digit player week in, week out.
yeah.
There's not a running back available to replace them with. So yeah, I'm just going to play without a back or one running back this week. It looks like. All right, so there's your little fantasy info. But yeah, Jameis getting it done for the Browns. I really hope this continues. I am pulling hard for Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I am too. I know I've hated on Jameis plenty in the past, mostly his college years. Man, over the years, after seeing all these interviews and
Hang on a minute. What can you hate about the college years? The guy lost one game.
talk about the whole crab leg situation.
Okay, fair point. Or standing up on the table and their union and saying, "Oh, you're out of the money,"
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
for that. If
But
if you know, you know. If you don't, look it up.
yeah, I was gonna say after over all these years watching all these interviews and everything else, now I kind of actually do think that he thought those crab legs were free.
He's just he is he's a character. He is a
Yeah,
full on character, and he's genuine. He's himself, and you can like it or you can not like it, but I'm here for it, and I'm rooting hard for the dude. I mean, the
me
guy
too.
can play. He's a national
Yeah,
champion, Heisman Trophy,
Heisman Trophy winners.
and did it from the. I mean, he was mobile some, but he did it from the pocket. I mean, he can play quarterback in the NFL, and he's more mature. Like his immaturity was his issue.
Yeah,
He's a much more mature player now, and I don't know, to see him leading a team that was, I mean, as down in the dumps as you could be, considering everything that's happened. I mean, Jameis Winston may be the absolute shot in the arm they needed. And you had this Jameis Winston the whole time, and you
yeah, the whole
still
time.
stuck with Deshaun Watson.
Well, you didn't spend, half the nation's debt on Jameis. You spent that on the other guy, and you played the other guy. But I don't know. I was telling everybody at work last week, two people would need a quarterback. I told them to pick up Jameis because I just had a feeling he was going to ball out this weekend, and he did. I don't think either one of them took my advice, though.
Well, they should have.
Yeah,
See, I have Patrick Mahomes, so I just can't. No
he did
reason
decent
to.
this week. So
It was about time, but the Chiefs still 7-0 regardless of whether Mahomes is throwing touchdown passes or not.
yeah,
But he threw a couple Sunday. Lions keep rolling. They're 6-1. They thumped the Titans 52-14. The Falcons 5-3 now. Kirk Cousins just absolutely spinning it. Threw 276 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He's starting to figure it out there in Atlanta. I
Kyle
believe
Pitts
they're
had his career day.
who?
Also played against him. Kyle Pitts. He scored like 29 points in fantasy.
Yes. But Falcons leading the division, I believe. Cousins figuring it out in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, another guy that if it's hard to root against. I mean, I
Yeah.
only root for the dude. Let's talk a little bit about Anthony Richardson, though. What did I say before the season? This is the one guy I think that's not. It's a surefire. He's not going to make it as a quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
He's making me look like a genius in that regard. Uh, as bad a quarterback play as you could have, pretty much Sunday. And then as bad of a look as you could have too, tapping out on 3rd and goal in the second half of the game, taking yourself out because you retired.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That
This is
eh,
news to you?
yeah, it's news to
Wow.
me.
Oh, dude, he is getting killed right now in the in the media. Former players, Jeff Saturday, McAfee, Chase Daniel got on like the
Yeah.
one of those. What was that?
What?
It sounded like somebody farted.
No, I was starting to say something and laughed, and then I quit. So
Okay, I thought you just leaned over and ripped one on air. I was gonna say, well, that was
no.
bold. But yeah, dude is getting killed by the media, right? By former players in the media right now for, I mean, tapping it. He came out of the game,
Man,
did this on 3rd and goal, and and he said it was because he was tired. He said he was just out of gas.
yeah, you should get hated on if you're gonna pull a Willie Thompson and freaking get yourself out of the game. I mean, granted, he didn't call the ambulance on himself, but to take yourself out of the game, yeah, that's a pretty bad look.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's pretty good.
That's why I was
Uh,
laughing at.
but yeah, that was a inside joke from our high school football playing days. Everyone, shout out Willie, by the way. Thanks for that laugh back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dude just can't. He didn't play very well in college. He's had a career based on potential.
He
He's
made a
always
couple of
been a
bombs, and yeah,
he had one great throw this season. That was it. He's got a strong arm. He's fast. He can jump high. I mean, he's freaky athletic. Basically, his career is going to be, man, he would be great if he just, like didn't suck. That's essentially that's essentially what Anthony Richardson has been as a quarterback. Is just a guy that is based on potential. Now, it came out today that he's getting benched. Um, they're starting Flacco this week, but I was fine with them. I had originally said on the show a couple weeks ago, you don't pull Flacco right now for Anthony
no,
Richardson. But I mean, you spent this. He's what? I can't remember. I thought he was the 3rd overall pick. People are saying he was the 4th overall, 3rd overall. I haven't cared to put the research together to figure that out by Googling. Uh, Point is, very high draft pick. Colts traded up to get him, I believe. I'm fine with you. I'm fine with you putting him in there to just confirm whether or not he's the guy. And it's clear he's not the guy. I don't think he. And I mean, he like he runs like into tackles, and I don't know. He like spins into tackles. He doesn't know how to play quarterback in this league. And we didn't see enough of him at Florida to see if he could play quarterback in the SEC. He was just a guy that was really fast in college and can make plays with his legs and could throw the ball for
and he didn't even play 3/4 of the season right in college.
him. No, he
Played a
didn't.
little bit more than half and got injured.
Again, a guy just based on potential. It's like, wow, look at this stuff he can do in the combine. He must be a franchise quarterback,
Yeah.
potentially. Potentially. And that's what his career has been based on and will continue to be based on. But I don't think it'll be a career much longer. I don't think he's meant for this league. I don't think he gets it. I don't think he's going to get it. Especially, you definitely don't get it when you're a quarterback. You're the starting quarterback of an NFL franchise, and you pull yourself because you're tired on 3rd and goal in the second half of a game, and what would have been a close game had you scored. They were down 10 at the time. He doesn't get it. He's not made for this league. Not as a quarterback, not as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Okay, so we do have a World Series going on. Let's kind of get out of here on this. Uh, I said last week Yankees in 7. You said Dodgers in 6, right?
I said Dodgers in 6, but I wanted to say 5.
I thought you were nuts. I thought you were crazy. I was like, no, this is definitely like a 7-game series. And maybe not nuts, but I was like, this feels like two very evenly matched teams. I haven't. What's the score right now? I haven't seen it. It's been 3-0 Yank or 3-0
I think
Dodgers
it's
coming into this.
I think it's 6-4 Yankees.
Okay, so it's closer from based on what I'm just listening to. It sounds like the Yankees are up 12-2 or something. Yeah, 6-4 Yankees, top 7, and it's in New York. So 3 more bats for the Dodgers coming. Uh, did Freddie Freeman hit another home run?
Probably, man. That man's been on fire.
Yes, he hit
What, two
another.
weeks ago, he couldn't even walk, right? So
Yeah, he's the guy that hit another home run in the first inning tonight. So that's 4 in a row. He's homered every game of the World Series. Freddie
hit
Freeman.
the first walk off grand slam in World Series history. That's a pretty cool stat.
Yeah, to say the least. And it really sparked the Dodgers what we saw over these next 2 games or over the next 2 games. I mean, they're in the driver's seat. Even if the Yankees win tonight, you still got to beat them 3 more times. Dodgers just have to beat you once, and you're really even teams. But Freddie Freeman, a Hall of Famer already. Of course, winning World Series MVP with Atlanta a few years ago, and then going to the Dodgers, and then now you're doing this in the World Series for LA. You're just adding to that Hall of Fame resume you're putting together. Uh, Dodgers may get it done tonight. If they don't get it done tonight, I think they do get it done in Game 5. Game 6 tops. I don't see any way the Yankees can beat these guys 4 times in a row. If they do, it makes me look smart. But I certainly would have not picked the Yankees had I known this would be the case.
So they if they have if they have a chance, man, Judge and a couple others are gonna have to get their bats going for them to even, like I said, have a chance. So
Well, Judge hasn't done that at all this World Series. He's been a no-show. It's been unfortunate for the Yankees, but it's what it is. It's a good game tonight, though, and I'm going to go watch the rest of it. And I'm guessing you're going to do the same. But so
yep.
we'll get
So
out of here. We're out of time anyway. But till then, we'll be back next week for election night, Election Tuesday with sports coverage. But until then,
ooh,
yeah, till then, happy Halloween. Deuces, y'all.
peace.